Elizabeth Marks of West Vancouver, BC. This is your chance to win big thanks to Save on Foods' $1 Million touchdown to win. If the kickoff is returned for a touchdown, you could win groceries for a year. If 2 kickoffs are returned for touchdowns in this game, you could win $1 million. Let's get you to BMO Field and join Dustin Nielsen and Dwayne Ford.
Thank you, Kate. Yes, BMO Field in Toronto, setting the stage for another chapter in this legendary rivalry between the black and gold and the double blue. The Argos look to build off an excellent regular season and get back to a game they last won in 2017. Hamilton seeking redemption after a loss to the Bombers in 2019. A win today, and they head home as hosts. Ticats Argos, a spot in the Grey Cup on the line.
And it was touch and go for about 48 hours, but McLeod Bethel Thompson gets to make his first career Canadian Football League playoff start. He was part of a Grey Cup champion in 2017. He wants to be the starting quarterback this time around. And his opposition, very familiar to him, Jeremiah Masoli of the Hamilton Tiger Cats. There you see the career record versus Toronto, winning 70% of those games, including that 2015 playoff matchup.
His head coach, Orlando Steinauer, 3-4 on the road this season. Of course, last year, or in 2019, in the East Final, won the game against Edmonton and ended up losing in the Grey Cup. Good first year for this man. Ryan Dinwiddie, 6-2 in his last 8. Last time Toronto was in a playoff game, they went up against this guy when he was with the Calgary Stampeders in the 2017 Grey Cup. We are ready. The tailgate has shut down. They've all moved inside. I'm excited for this one. This should be a great game today.
Let's get it going.
It will be the Argos set to kick this game off. Bobby White and Sean Thomas Erlington will wait for this ball. Winner advances to the Grey Cup in Hamilton a week from today. First of 2 on TSN is about to get underway at BMO, and Boris Beatty gets us underway. Bobby White takes this at his own 10, brings it back up to the 15, now the 20, busts through a tackle at the 25 before getting hammered down just shy of the 30, an 18-yard return.
Well, the defense got a lot of the credit for Hamilton's victory last week, but Jeremiah Masoli did a solid job taking care of the football, directing his team to the end zone when given the opportunity with a couple of short fields set up by that D. He's looking for redemption after a late season loss against the Toronto Argonauts, a game in which first place was on the line.
0-2 against the Argos this year, and a flag as this ball was snapped, starting this drive on his own 29. Mazzoli 4 and 5.
Hamilton number 54. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
4 and 5 on the season. Let's take a look at this Ticats starting offense, brought to you by Expedia.
One change on that Tiger Cats offensive line from last week. Jordan Murray draws back in after sitting out with injury. He's at the left tackle position. Keep an eye on Tim White. White in 4 games against the Argos this season had a catch of 50 or more yards in 3 of those games. A big play threat, will certainly look to be that today.
First and 15 here for Mazzoli, and he misses the intended target. It was Tim White. He had him, but he missed him. Let's take a look at this Toronto defense.
Yeah, defensively for Toronto, you look at that line, the one constant all season long has been Sean Oakman. He leads the group with 6 sacks on the season. Dexter McCoyle, the most productive defender on this team, was injured late in the season, but he's back and ready to roll. And you heard Davis Sanchez talk about Jamal Peters, out since October, but he's back in at that boundary corner spot. Jalen Collins bumps over to the field side this week.
2nd and 15 for Mazzoli on his first possession of the game. A flag as he throws this one over the middle, up for grabs, and it's picked off just outside the 35. It's Muamba. Muamba takes it down to the 25. Flags all over the field as he's forced out of bounds just inside the 20. What a start here at BMO.
Jeremiah Masoli trying to push that one into a tight window.
Offside, Toronto number 3. 5-yard penalty, repeat 2nd down.
Cameron Judge making his return to the Toronto lineup. The guilty party, he's to the right side of your screen. Weak side linebacker.
Just jumped early. Takes a big play off the board. Sets up 2nd and 10 for Mazzoli. Empty backfield this time. Far side of the field. That'll be complete. We'll turn it back up towards the 34 as he got it into the hands of Stephen Dunbar. But that will bring up 3rd down, and the Ticats will be forced to kick it away.
Dodging a bullet on that opening series with that offside call, but the Toronto defense looking active and aggressive, and obviously a small sample size with that first series, but in the rust versus rest debate, rest looks to have done them well.
That'll settle you in a little bit, no doubt about it. For the Ticats, not ideal to be kicking it away, as Dwayne mentioned, but better than the interception by Muamba that was taken off the board due to that penalty on Cameron Judge. Whitford set to kick it away from his own 25. That'll be taken by far side of the field, and there's a flag just inside the 50 on the return from Edwards. It's been an interesting week for this man, McLeod Bethel Thompson. More on that as he gets the ball when we return. An illegal block on the return has backed up the Argos slightly, and a look at McLeod Bethel Thompson and what he's been able to do so far this year.
Yeah, remarkable season for Bethel Thompson. Not necessarily his best in terms of personal statistics, but a 7-2 record for him as a starter.
Been in quarantine for the last 2 days. We'll have more on that from Matthew Shinetti as we work our way through the opening quarter of action here. He starts on his own 38. Has an early completion, but it bounces off the hands of Ricky Collins Jr. and falls incomplete. Here's a look at the Toronto offense.
Yeah, they've been forced to do some shuffling on that offensive line. The American Martez Ivey will start at right tackle. Jamal Campbell went to the injured list late in the season. You heard Milt mention it earlier. Eric Rogers playing for the first time since September. He comes in the slot. That'll bump Tavares Daniels to the outside, giving them a great tandem on the boundary side.
Bethel Thompson was looking for Collins. Now he's set up in 2nd and 10. Near side of the field. Has a completion, lunging ahead. That should be enough for a first down as he goes to Eric Rogers in his first action since mid-September.
Yeah, playoff time. Rogers, the inside receiver here, just above the hash marks on your screen. Little stem to the inside. He's going to break out. Nice timing route. Looks like he has not missed a day. Fitting right back into this Toronto Argonaut offense early.
11-yard pickup there. He had 3 touchdowns prior to his injury. Here's some pressure. Oh, and a hit to the head of McLeod Bethel Thompson. It was Jagarrett Davis who came flying in, and the Ticats defense going to work early.
Jagarrett Davis off the top rope, coming from the left side of the defensive line. He was jumping to try and block the pass. Bethel Thompson pulls it back down. He just reacted lucky to avoid a flag on that one.
Well, they have thrown a flag now.
Major foul, roughing the passer. Hamilton, number 56. 15-yard penalty, automatic, first down.
Took quite a bit of discussion, but eventually the flag was thrown as Davis clearly got his hands up high on Bethel Thompson. He's trying to say, but I got him. I just touched his back.
The video suggests otherwise.
There's a couple of roughing the passer early last week against Montreal by that front of the Ticats. We'll see if they can avoid that the rest of the way on this drive. Over midfield now. Bethel Thompson is going to take a shot down the field inside the 15. It bounces around as a flag. He was looking for Brescacin. Ciante Evans in coverage. And it looks as though we've got pass interference deep down the field.
Pass interference. Hamilton, number 0. Spot of the foul. Automatic, first down.
Ciante Evans, the man in coverage. This will be to the left side of your screen as Bethel Thompson pushes it deep. And this is one of the interesting things in terms of the offensive dynamic for Toronto coming into this game. It's not just Eric Rogers coming back into the lineup, but Breskison getting back into the starting lineup as he's worked his way back from injury. That's two big targets who allow Toronto to push the ball down the field a little bit more.
Definite size advantage there. There's another completion. Bethel Thompson takes it down inside the 5 as he goes back once again to Eric Rogers. And the Argos on their first possession of the game are knocking on the door.
Yeah, Rogers on the numbers. Quick look in. Love that angle, by the way.
It'll be first and goal for Toronto on the Hamilton 3. Great crowd here at BMO Field today, and they love this start for the home side. Bethel Thompson hands it off. Spin move's not going to go anywhere. Maybe even a loss on the play. Dylan Wynn, Julian Hauser in on the tackle.
Well, two guys who were so important for Hamilton in stopping the run last week against Montreal. Pick up exactly where they left off in that ground defense. Stuffing DJ Foster.
A loss of 2 on the carry for DJ Foster, his first touch of the game. Second and goal from the 5 now for Bethel Thompson. He's going to keep it right up the middle, spins, lunging towards the end zone, he stops. Santos Knox hangs on and stops him short.
Now here comes Antonio Pipkin as the Argos are going to go for it. Like the play call here, they get the isolation they want. You saw the center, Philip Blake, just a little bit late coming off to get up to Santos Knox. They start with that double team at the line of scrimmage, and then one of those two linemen has to come off. Second level. Not quite there in time as Santos Knox makes the play.
Well, they had brought Pipkin out, but now they will take him back off the field, and Boris Beatty will come out to attempt a 10-yard field goal from straight away to put the Argos on the board first. Not sure you'll find an easier one for Beatty. 84.8% on the season. First attempt of the day is a chip shot, and he kicks it through. And the Argos, first blood at home in the East Final. They lead 3-0. Jeremiah Mazzoli will get a second crack at it with his Ticats offense. They'll have the ball when we return. The road to the Grey Cup continues today with the West Final as the Rough Riders take on the Blue Bombers. Catch the action immediately following this game only on TSN. It looks a little chilly out west today, doesn't it?
Good day to be in the East, my friend.
Great crowd here. Obviously, Ticats fans traveling well, and a good turnout at BMO today as Mazzoli gets his second crack at it. This time, the pass looks to be completed as he gets it into the hands of Jalen Acklin for a short pickup on first down.
Yeah, Jalen Acklin enjoying a terrific sophomore season here in the Canadian Football League. Touched on it a little bit last week, but in terms of some of the shuffling that's gone on in the Tiger Cats receiving corps over the course of this season, one thing was Acklin moving from wide receiver into the slot, getting to demonstrate a little bit more versatility.
2021 East All-Star is Acklin. Empty backfield, some pressure here for Mazzoli, and he had to get rid of it as they were right in his face. And the pass to Don Jackson falls incomplete. Good pressure here from this Toronto front.
Yeah, Toronto doing a nice job in the early going here, not allowing Jeremiah Mazzoli to get settled. Shane Ray and Robbie Smith coming off the edges to supply the heat that time.
Ticats forced to kick this away again, and that'll be taken at the 34. And really nowhere to go for Chandler Worthy on that one. McLeod Bethel Thompson has the lead, and he'll get the ball next. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster week for McLeod Bethel Thompson. For more on that, let's send it down to Matthew Shanani.
Welcome to the East, Dustin. It's always interesting here, and McLeod Bethel Thompson's week was very interesting. It started with talking to Ricky Ray, who told him, listen, the big games come, keep your routine, and Ricky is a man of few words, and McLeod listened, and then he didn't want to go to the Argos game to promote this game today because he wanted to focus on his routine, and here we are. He had to be in COVID protocols after inadvertently breaking the COVID protocols of the CFL. So what did he have to do to keep his routine? Well, his passing, his film, and his workouts were all done in his Etobicoke home. He said it was a challenge for him, but he understood that that's what the CFL wanted him to do, and he came out in the field at about 10:35 after testing negative for his final PCR test and said it was a heck of a week, but I'm here now, and I'm ready to play. Guys?
On its first career playoff start for the 33-year-old, not really how you draw it up, eh, Dwayne?
But McLeod Bethel Thompson has faced so much adversity, so many challenges in his career. I think he really just took this as just another one.
He'll tuck this one into the belly of DJ Foster, who pushes hard and picks up a few yards on that first down carry. Let's take a look at this Ticats defense.
Yeah, and we mentioned earlier Dylan Wynn, an absolute monster last week, an East Division All-Star. We'll keep an eye on him in the interior of that defensive line. Cameron Kelly, kind of the forgotten man sometimes in that linebacking core, but among the league leaders in defensive stops this season, 10 knockdowns for him. And we'll keep an eye on Carriel Brooks. Boundary side halfback will frequently find himself matched up with Eric Rogers. Today, one of the leaders in that Hamilton secondary.
Bethel Thompson, a little bit of time, a flag as he lets it fly. That's caught on the near side and will be taken up the 50 by Foster, forced out of bounds on the Ticats side of the field, but there is a flag to deal with. Not a bad idea to get Foster involved early.
Illegal contact, Hamilton number 21. That penalty be declined. Result of the play is a first down.
24-yard pickup for DJ Foster through the air.
Watch as Simone Lawrence drops out of the box here towards Eric Rogers, the number 2 receiver, into the boundary. He's coming to help out, but that shot just beyond 5 yards is going to earn him illegal contact.
Onto the Ticats, 46. That is where the Argos will have the ball. They'll hand it off, pushed ahead, and it's again a short pickup on first down by Foster.
Great cutback there by DJ Foster, bending that one back to the left.
Steinauer not happy with the call on that previous play. Very fired up here.
Yeah, playoff intensity.
2nd and 6 on the Ticats 42. Bethel Thompson, some pressure coming, gets it away, has a completion on the far side of the field, right near the 30, as he gets it into the hands of Ricky Collins, and he will hang on with Jamal Roll right in his face.
Well, Macbeth looks like a couple days away from the team. Didn't hurt him at all in terms of his rhythm, his timing. Very much synced up with his receivers here in the early going.
His routine being thrown off hasn't seemed to hurt so far. Now they'll dump it off underneath. Worthy stays on his feet. Worthy on the far side of the field, still going. Worthy down to the 23 before he is stopped, and took a long way to get there. But in the end, he'll move to 6. What an effort by Chandler Worthy.
Well, here you'll see the little shovel pass to Worthy. Breaking a tackle, nice cutback here.
It's not going to work one way. You can always go the other.
Yeah, Chandler Worthy and McLeod Bethel Thompson, close friends, couple guys who have both battled through some adversity to earn an opportunity to be here today. Worthy, who was released by the Argos coming out of training camp.
become a threat in the return game for the Argos as well. An injured Ticat down on the field. We'll pause quickly and come back with an update. A look at Desmond Lawrence and his right arm being held up as he walks off the field. Here's another look at what happened, just kind of reaching out there.
Yeah, reaching with the right arm. Looked like he might have hyperextended that right arm, injuring the elbow.
We'll monitor that situation.
Yeah, Stavros Katsantonis comes in at free safety, by the way. Deontay Evans slides to field corner. Tunde Adeleke to field half.
And this off again from Bethel Thompson, and that is pushed down towards the Ticat 15.
And the other piece of that shuffle in the secondary now is Jamal Roll goes from field corner to boundary corner where Lawrence had started. Roll, lots of experience over on that side. As for Adeleke at halfback, he played that spot last week when Deontay Evans was out of the lineup.
So they've juggled before is what you're saying.
They have juggled before, but only 6 DBs dressed for this game. Now down to 5, and they're all on the field.
2nd and 3 on the Ticat 15. Handed off again, staying on his feet and pushing it down towards the 5, lunging ahead. What a carry for DJ Foster.
The Argos determined after watching the job that Hamilton did against the Montreal running attack last week to get bodies on bodies in this run game, get to second level and make some plays.
Second time they've been down here at the Hamilton 5, settled for a field goal on the first trip. Likely won't want to do that again. Foster again pushing towards the end zone, but he won't get there. Ticats defense bending but not breaking just yet.
I'll remind fans, Hamilton was dominated in terms of time of possession early in last week's game against Montreal, the first half of that game. Managed to make some plays, create some turnovers defensively. A couple big returns on special teams. That kind of negated that time of possession advantage, but Toronto doing a good job wearing them down in the early going here.
2nd and goal from the Hamilton 3 to the corner. Batted away to Garrett Davis in coverage against DJ Foster. Give him a knockdown.
And Toronto got the matchup they wanted, running back against a defensive end in coverage, but Garrett Davis does a fantastic job coming off the end, getting his head around, locating the ball, getting his hand up in time. Watch the head turn, finds the ball, reaches with the left, comes up with a huge play to prevent a touchdown.
If anybody else gets hurt in the secondary, hey, might slide him back.
Yeah, we might see Garrett on the corner.
He played that extremely well, and now Toronto is going to settle for another chip shot field goal from Beatty. Dwayne, your thoughts on not going for it either of these times inside the 5?
Yeah, well, and especially, you know, I mean, you know my feeling on Antonio Pipkin and that short yardage offense the Argos have. I'd take a shot.
That's another 10-yard field goal for Boris Beatty, and the Argos now a couple of really nice offensive possessions, but they've had to settle for just 6 total points. A little bit of a victory for this Ticats defense.
Well, yeah, I mean, Garrett Davis in coverage saved them at least 3, 4, 5 points, depending on what would have happened here with what looked like a touchdown. Again, that matchup, running back versus defensive end, Garrett Davis peeling off the edge.
If you're Bethel Thompson, you're thinking, okay, this is it.
Yeah, we got what we wanted when we made this call. But Garrett Davis steps up.
Tell Ramsey, give me my money.
He's a 2021 East All-Star for a reason. Now they're going to hand it off to Jackson. Good push ahead. He lowers his shoulder, and the boom. And he might be stopped just shy of the 10 that he needed.
Don Jackson looking to get things fired up here. He had the only 100-yard rushing game by a Hamilton Tiger Cat this season, despite not really getting fully into the swing of this offense until really the last month.
A quick push ahead, and that will be a first down. Late flags here at the end of the play as everybody was getting back to their feet. And is this against the Argos? Let's get the call.
After the play, major foul. Toronto number 94. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Tony Ely, the guilty party on this one.
Yeah, Ely's kind of in the middle of the shot there. You saw the big arm reaching out, taking a shot.
Not going to be able to sneak that one in.
Unimpressed Ryan Dinwiddie.
Ball on the Argos 48. They'll get it into the hands of Tim White. And White brings it to the near side of the field. And he stops just past the Argo 40. 9-yard pickup for Tim White.
You gotta love the rivalry game in the playoffs. The intensity is cranked. Guys are in each other's faces every play.
Mazzoli gives it back to Jackson, finds some room right up the middle, first down and more, close to the Toronto 30 here, and nice to see Jackson get involved in this offense now.
Yeah, absolutely. Orlando Steinauer talked about Don Jackson in that running back position, and they have some depth there, particularly in terms of their Canadians, Sean Thomas Erlington, Jackson Bennett, Malik Irons, but suggested that Don Jackson is just a little bit more dynamic.
Now they're going to dump it underneath for Acklin. And Acklin stopped by Dexter McCoyle. But a pretty good chunk on first down for Mazzoli. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, they're trying to create a look here. You're going to see Don Jackson shoot out to the flat. They're hoping that's going to pull defenders out of the middle as they then bring Acklin underneath to attack what they anticipate being a vacated spot. But you see Enoch Mwamba redirect to come back and make the play.
Flags here as that pass is thrown by Mazzoli. It would have been enough for a first down as he got it to Tim White. But there were a couple of flags and looked like there's some early movement on Hamilton's side of the field.
Offside, Toronto number 56. That penalty declined. The result of the play is the first down, and that is the end of the first quarter.
Shane Ray caught with an early jump. Ticats finally finding some momentum, trailing 6-0 on the road, looking to head to the Grey Cup as a host next week. They'll have the ball to start the second quarter. Well, a couple of nice drives from the Argos, but they have to settle for 2 10-yard field goals and keeps Ticats in this one early. Yeah,
you have to wonder, looking at Ryan Dinwiddie on the sidelines after kicking that second field goal, if you start to wonder a little bit if missed opportunities may come back to haunt you as this game goes on, especially as it looks like Hamilton's offense might be starting to wake up a little bit here as the second quarter begins.
Well, and they got Jackson involved in run game. Do you think that kind of helped get this thing going a little bit?
Yeah, I think that's going to be important for them. You saw Toronto very aggressive in terms of getting after Mazzoli in the first couple of Hamilton possessions of this ball game. So they're going to need to mix it up, and a couple positive plays from Don Jackson on the ground goes a long way.
Jackson, 2 carries, 17 yards. They've had Acklin involved a little bit here as well. 1st and 10, working from the Toronto 19, down 6 from Mazzoli as we start the second quarter. They'll hand it off again, and a decent job this time. Cordero Law and Shaq Richardson there to slow down Jackson, and that'll set up 2nd and about 7 for the Ticats.
Second and long situation, as you mentioned, Dustin. Situation in which Toronto has thrived in the early going of this ball game. As you see defensive consultant, Chris Jones, calling the signals.
Mazzoli with Jackson immediately to his left. Jackson will flare out to the left. Mazzoli with some time, a ton of time for Mazzoli. Now he's going to be pressured. He's in trouble. He goes down and the ball pops loose. It's going to be scooped up by Toronto. It's Edwards. Edwards will take it outside the 40. And the home side gets the ball back. Wow.
Well, you can't fault the protection here, as there was lots of time for Mazzoli in the pocket, but keeping an eye on things on the back end. You'll see Toronto had things pretty well covered up. Nowhere to go with the football. The pass rushers eventually come free. It's Cordero Law who gets to Mazzoli to force the fumble. And Chris Edwards had a big pick six when these teams last met.
Completion to Collins. And Collins will be held onto and taken down by Ciante Evans. Mazzoli kind of just got spun around, and Law got just enough of it to pop that ball loose, it looked like, right here.
Lost this one. You see it, Law pulling at that right arm. As the ball pops up. Chris Jones, just the way he drew it up.
Now at one end, you got that Ticats defense holding the Argos to a couple of short field goals, and the other end, the Argos D comes up with a big play of their own. Bethel Thompson now has a completion midfield as he goes back to Rogers, and Eric Rogers, for a guy who hasn't played since September 17th, he is involved early. That's his third catch on his third target today.
Rogers came up looking like he was hobbling a little bit after that one. He makes his way to the sidelines, but certainly a welcome addition or re-addition to this Toronto Argonaut offense for their biggest game of the year.
Heavily taken down there by Cameron Kelly. 1st and 10 on the Hamilton 54. Bethel Thompson hands it off to A.J. Ouellette. And a short pickup there for Ouellette. Let's take a look at some of the playoff numbers for that man right there, Eric Rogers, so far in his career.
Yeah, never mind the layoff. It's all about the playoffs for Eric Rogers. We shouldn't be surprised that he has been so busy today in his return when you look at what he's done in his playoff career to date, averaging 2 touchdowns a game.
Is that good? That seems like a good number. I'm not a big analytics guy, but 8 touchdowns in 4 games seems all right. Some pressure coming this time. Bethel Thompson gets it away just in time. Collins has it, and he will be stopped at the 50, and that'll bring up 3rd down for the Argos. Katsatonis.
UBC product. Had his first Canadian Football League interception coming from the right side of your screen, number 30. First interception last week.
3-time All-Canadian as this is kicked away from the Toronto 50. White takes it just inside his own 5. Bobby White made one man miss, eventually taken down at the 10. Brandon Banks not involved just yet in this Ticats offense. Do they set him loose next? Welcome back to BMO Field, everyone. A look at Dane Evans, who's now out on the field with this offense.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see if they're actually making a change at quarterback or if they're just mixing things up. We've seen this historically from Hamilton. You talk about creating packages to give a defense a different look, using different quarterbacks in the course of the game. Maybe not ideal field position for Dane Evans, jumping in here with the ball at his own 11-yard line for his first possession of the game, but an experienced guy.
They'll hand it off to Jackson. Never a bad idea. He takes it out close to his Hamilton 15. Should note that Evans was the quarterback in the only win over the Argos this year, 32-19 back in week 5. He's 248 yards and 2 touchdowns in that game. It was actually a combination of Arbuckle and MBT on the other side in that game.
Evans was injured against Toronto in the Labor Day rematch.
Three receivers wide to his right. That's where he's going to roll out. Goes high into the hands of Acklin. Pushing ahead, and that'll be enough for a first down. Great effort there.
Yeah, good reaction there from Jalen Acklin. Body control to get twisted as Evans looks like he's looking out wide, but it's a little zip on that one back to the inside for Jalen Acklin to move the sticks.
Acklin able to escape from the grasp of Chris Edwards on that one. 10 minutes to go in the opening half. Ticats down by 6. Hand it off again. Toronto was all over this one. Jackson really nowhere to go on that first down carry. Maybe a short game.
And Toronto loaded things up at the line of scrimmage. That one anticipating exactly what was coming.
Second and 10 now for the Ticats. Jackson 4 carries for 24 yards on the day. Acklin 3 catches. The rest of the receiving core just 2 combined. Evans now empty backfield with some time. Thought about it. Had to bring it back down. Now he's going to run for it, scrambling towards the far side of the field, and he eventually is taken down just shy of the 30, and that will bring up third down for the Ticats. And they'll have to kick it away again.
Well, you see Toronto gives a little different look. Here it ends up being starting off as a 3-man front, becomes a 4-man rush. We're seeing Cameron Judge involved a lot in Toronto's blitz package, pass rush package here in the early going.
It's Chris Edwards there to shut him down before he could pick up that first down. Whitford set to kick it away, standing on his own 15. Chandler Worthy waiting for it on his own 36. This is going to bounce at the 51, hops into the hands of Worthy. Worthy nowhere to go just yet. Now he's going to try to kick it out on the near side of the field. Eventually gang tackled heavily just inside his own 50. Brandon Banks, no touches just yet. Pat on the head for his quarterback, Dane Evans. It's been a pretty good day for Eric Rogers so far. 3 catches for 29 yards. We saw him leave the game, and looks like they're working on that left leg right now. Here's the play that he was injured on.
Yeah, tough to say exactly what happened, but Rogers
stretching him out.
Yeah, seemed to be working on the hamstring area.
First and 10 for Bethel Thompson on his own 49, and they'll hand it off to Foster. Foster's 7th carry of the day, 6 for 25 to start the game, a high of 11, and a short pickup on this one.
And not much running room this time as that Hamilton defense, particularly the interior guys, Wynn and Laurent do a good job holding their ground.
Nowhere to go for Foster. Sets up a 2nd and 7 for McLeod. Bethel Thompson, 3 receivers to the far side right of the field. Looks to his left, now over the middle, has a man wide open. That's going to be completed for a first down. There's a flag. It looks as though the Toronto quarterback was hit after he threw that ball. Would have been enough for a first down anyway. Now let's get another look at this one.
Hamilton number 56. 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
You'll see Ted Laurent, he's the man on the nose. He's going to end up coming in low. 5-man rush here, trying to run a couple of stunts. Pretty well blocked up, but big fellow lunging. You'd see going low around the ankles of the Argo quarterback. That draws the flag. Can't hit outside of that strike zone between shoulders and knees.
Frustrating first half for Orlando Steinauer. First and 10 on the Hamilton 32. Bethel Thompson. This one off the hand of the intended target. He was looking for Dejan Brissett. Almost was able to make a play on it.
Brissett, number 2 overall pick for Toronto in 2020. Getting some looks in this receiving core. That one just leading him a little bit, unable to reel it in.
Argos with a 6-0 advantage right now. 2nd and 10 on the Hamilton 32. Foster stands to the right of his quarterback. Bethel Thompson, pressure coming right up the middle, and hammered down. There's a flag as he's eventually finished off by Malik Carney.
Come on, man. Hey, you back there.
Carney's 2nd sack of the season.
Toronto number 59. That penalty be declined. 3rd down.
And Malik Carney working his, getting in on that 2nd and long situation, getting an extra pass rusher on the field, along with fellow defensive ends Hauser, Julian Hauser, and Jagarrett Davis.
Boris Beatty called into work again, this time from 47 yards. 2 for 2 so far today. Both of those were 10-yarders. This one 47, and it's good. And the Argos lead extends to 9. Ticats defense causing some issues here for McLeod Bethel Thompson. Jagarrett Davis almost got there. Carney ended up getting the job done. Well, there's always something new on Crave. Don't miss exclusive shows and the latest hit movies streaming this December. New plans starting as low as $9.99 per month. I was watching the new Dexter on the way out on the airplane, and it's always awkward because people are watching me, watching this guy stab everybody in the heart, and they're thinking, who's this psycho sitting next to me? But good show, available on Crave. Evans in at quarterback. Jackson's gonna flare out to the left. Evans has a completion, one of their best of the day. And it'll be up and over at the 50 as they finally get something going offensively, courtesy Stephen Dunbar Jr.
Yeah, Dunbar along with Tim White, first-year men in that receiving core. Number 3 receiver for the Cats during the regular season.
Evans, 2 of 2 since coming into the game from Mazzoli for 23 yards. 3 receivers to the left, a flag in the secondary. And did he not get that ball off on time? Looks like he had been a second late.
Time count violation. Hamilton number 9. 5-yard penalty. 1st down.
Shakes his head as we back him up 5 yards.
That's a little bit of that 2 steps forward, 1 step back feeling for Hamilton after they finally have a play to get excited about offensively after the completion to Dunbar, but they're shooting themselves in the foot following that up with the penalty.
1st and 15 now for Hamilton on their own 45. Down 9. Jackson steps in to protect for Evans. Wide side of the field. That's a completion. And that'll be taken onto Toronto's side of the field into the hands of Tim White. Let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti.
Well, Dustin, Jeremiah Masoli and David Watford are standing on the sidelines, and Jeremiah Masoli in particular is being incredibly supportive of David Evans. During that last Argos offensive series, Masoli and Evans were sitting together looking at the tablet. A lot of encouraging words. Remember, Jeremiah Masoli told us at the beginning of the season, it's going to take all of us to get to the Grey Cup. He's always been encouraging of Evans and Watford. Right now, he's got David Evans back, guys.
It's nothing new for these two guys, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, no, and it has been a theme of kind of how they set the tone in that quarterback room. Supportiveness.
Evans stays on his feet, eventually is tracked down from behind by Dexter McCoyle, and that will bring up 3rd down.
Well, Dexter McCoy's such a versatile defender. A guy was a safety in college, moved up to the linebacker position in his first go-around in the Canadian Football League with Edmonton. Just a guy who has a nose for the football, a great understanding of the game.
Whitford will kick this away from his own 47. Worthy slides under it at the 20. Looking for a block to open something up. Not going to get it. We'll get that ball back outside the Toronto 25. And another opportunity for this Argos offense.
You see Tyrese Beverett doing the dirty work on special teams for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, backup linebacker. The leaders of that group.
8 special teams tackles on the season for Beverett coming into this one. Toronto's going to start on their own 27. Bethel Thompson has a man wide open down the field. DJ Foster all the way up to the 50. They have used this guy all over the offense so far today.
Well, here you're going to see Foster starting off in the backfield. Keep an eye. Middle linebacker Javon Santos Knox is the man who's supposed to go with him in coverage. He gets his eyes sucked into the backfield for a minute and loses his man in coverage, but he was sort of the man tapping his own chest, saying that was his bust in coverage after that pass was caught.
Back to Foster, this time on the ground, and he takes it up to midfield. DJ Foster, most dangerous weapon offensively so far today. He's done it on the ground 8 times, and this one through the air as the Argos offense moving the ball yet again.
Any chance Milt has to flex on television, he'll do it. Coming up in the half, we're going to talk QB situation with the Tiger Cats, a little Argos D, and I promise less of that from Stiegel. Stop it.
Ticats quarterback situation, an interesting one on the other side. The Argos, Bethel Thompson, 115 yards passing already, and there's a little bit more as he goes right over the middle of this defense and has another completion. This one to Breskison.
Juwan Breskison injured much of this season. This is a guy who missed a lot of 2019 as well when he was with the Calgary Stampeders due to injury, but Mississauga kid coming home to play. Big things expected from him in the Argo offense this season. He's been delayed a little bit, but making his presence felt here in the Eastern Final.
This one will be complete. Pushing ahead for another first down. As Antonio Pipkin into the game with a completion. And now Bethel Thompson will slide back in there.
Curly Gittens Jr. for making a couple people miss on this play. Comes up hobbling. Again, the Argos have assembled pretty good depth in terms of their Canadian receivers. Gittens emerging as a real threat for them this season. Led the team with 2 100-yard games during the regular season. We mentioned Juwan Breskison earlier, and of course, former first-round pick Dejon Brissett as well.
Gittens voted the most outstanding Canadian with this group, just 24 years old, trying to walk that one off. But just a little sprinkling of Antonio Pipkin there into the offense.
Yeah.
And it worked out.
Yeah, and I mean, something we anticipated seeing in this ball game.
We'll hand it off to Foster, cuts it straight up the middle, takes it down close to the Hamilton 25.
There you see the impact that Curly Gittins had in his sophomore season with the Toronto Argonauts, leading all Canadian receivers with 50 receptions this year.
Schaefer Baker kind of blowing up on the scene with the Riders, and Nick Dembski. It's been a building process for Dembski in Winnipeg, and he had a big season, a big part of that offense. Winnipeg, of course, in action here against the Riders later today. Bethel Thompson, 2nd and 4. Pressure coming, gets it away towards the end zone, and that one will fall incomplete. No flags on the field. They'll ask for it. Breskison wanted a flag. He's not going to get it.
Well, you wondered if the pressure that time on McLeod Bethel Thompson might impact the accuracy of the pass. Cameron Kelly off the edge, arriving just as the ball is thrown on the left side of your screen. Coming from the quarterback's right side, Bethel Thompson was able to see him coming the whole way, gets rid of that ball just in time.
Delicate there in coverage. And it looks as though there was a challenge on the field, as Ryan Dinwiddie's going to have the back of his receiver Breskison here and ask them to take another look at it.
Toronto's challenging that there was defensive pass interference on the play. We'll review the play.
Certainly some contact in the end zone. What do you think of this decision?
Well, take a shot with an opportunity to put points on the board, right? The Argos have missed a couple of chances where they have been in close. No doubt they'd love to get a major.
Let's get a few more looks at it.
Just trying to watch that right hand of Tunde Adeleke.
Like they're both engaged, right?
Yeah, I mean, at this point I have no problem with the play. He did catch the face mask though.
Right
with the right hand right at the end, yeah.
Had his eyes on the ball. Yeah, that hand up in the face,
yeah, you can
might
see
be
as
the
ball gets close
here.
You know, I mean, the timing of it to me suggests that it's not impacting necessarily the receiver's ability to catch the ball, but it's a contact in a way that in this instance would be very difficult to ignore.
We haven't seen many deep shots so far in this game. One of the earlier ones was to Breskison as well, and that one was pass interference. So they go to Breskison again, and it looks like they might get another one.
I mean, this has been a big part of Juwan Breskison's game, the ability to go vertical. Runs well, but obviously has that big frame, large catch radius, ability to go up and get the football as well.
Another one of these guys who have been brought in here to Toronto, especially on offense, out of Calgary with a lot of playoff experience. Certainly something that you can rely on in these types of games. Let's head down to the call.
After review, the ruling on the field stands. The 3rd down.
Stop trying to see things.
So that'll bring up 3rd down. We thought maybe the hand to the face right at the end of it, but outside of that, I guess they must have thought it was clean pretty much the whole way.
Yeah, and I'm fine with the call. Again, just the timing of when this happened. McLeod Bethel Thompson not so fine.
He looks a little stunned. The snow starts to fall at BMO Field. Busy Boris Beatty out again. This time a 33-yard attempt from just inside the left hash, and he is 4 for 4 on the day. All of the offense coming off the right foot of Boris Beatty. As Toronto now a 12-0 lead, and lots to discuss from this game at the half with Kate in the panel.
Absolutely, and I got my moment to celebrate Western's Vanier Cup win a little bit earlier. I know Ches is looking to talk up his Langley Rams, who won a Canadian Bowl.
I saw that, yes.
Yesterday. Congratulations to them. Of course, to Ches, to first-year head coach, former BC Lion Corey Philpott. I'll throw in as a U Sports fan. Congrats to the Philpott family, the twins,
Philpott
Tyson
boys,
and Jalen. Selected first-team All-Canadians this year.
Completion on the near side, finally getting into the hands of Banks. And his first touch of the game is a big one. Takes it outside his own 45, a pickup of about 13.
Yeah, and this last minute and a half is going to be huge for Hamilton. See if they can get some points on the board, especially if they're able to score a major and turn this into a one-score ball game going into the break after really struggling to find any kind of continuity offensively in the opening 28.5 minutes of this ball game.
Four options to the left for Evans, hands it off right up the middle to Jackson, a good burst, and he's going to have a first down as well. Back-to-back first downs for the Ticats offense, finally showing some signs of life.
Yeah, you'll see they got the Argo defense spread out here. Right call at the right time in terms of the inside run game with Don Jackson for another big gain.
60 seconds to work with here for Evans. Empty backfield this time, turns quickly, has a completion, nowhere to go. As he got it to Dunbar, Richardson is there to make the tackle, and that will take them down inside the Toronto 50.
Yeah, nice job there by the veteran Shaq Richardson. Recognizing the play, beating the block, getting there to limit the first down gain of Stephen Dunbar to about 4 yards.
2nd and 6 here for Evans. Kolinich moving in behind his quarterback. Evans, completion to Acklin. That was awfully close to another first down. Looks like they'll have enough. And it will be a first down for the Ticats. 4th catch of the day for Acklin. 27 seconds on the clock.
We'll see what offensive coordinator Tommy Condell has up his sleeve here. Time ticking down.
Evans, far side, has another completion. Ball pops loose. Muamwa's going to scoop it up at the 35. Drops it back to Richardson. Richardson down the sideline. Richardson still on his feet. Ball knocked away on the far side. What is happening? Ticats get it back. Did Evans go over and strip that away? Oh my goodness.
On the tackle, Dane Evans pulls it away from Shaq Richardson. It was the ball that nobody wanted, Dustin.
You take it. No, you have it. Muamba drops it off. Richardson brings it up the sidelines, kind of just hanging it out there. Evans reaches over, strips it away.
Great heads-up play. Evans, we'll watch Dane Evans all the way on this one as he's trailing. It's Don Jackson who actually goes in for the tackle. Dane Evans recognizes the ball is just dangling there. Never mind the tackle, I'll take that. Heads up play by the quarterback.
One of the biggest plays of the game.
Well, he just saved at least 3 points.
And the Ticats will wisely just take a knee after the madness that we just saw in that last play. Hamilton shut out in the first half by the Argos. One more play needed as the Ticats, half the team heads off the field. Here's another look at it. Richardson just never really secured that ball at all. He kind of just had it in the one hand all the way down the sideline. And what an interesting first half of football here in the East Final.
All Toronto, but a little too much Boris Beatty, I think, even for their liking.
Boris Beatty, 4 for 4 so far here this afternoon. Ticats offense stuck in neutral. The Argos on top 12-0. Let's send it back to Kate and the panel.
And that panel is David Sanchez, Matt Dunnigan, Milt still laughing by the end of that quarter. I mean, what just happened there? I mean, it's 12-0 at this point, too. I think we can all agree it should be a lot more for the Toronto Argos. They should have scored a field goal there, too, but heads-up play by Dane Evans.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, let's talk about McLeod Bethel-Thompson, though, Maddie, because coming into this game, you know, they haven't played meaningful football in a few weeks' time. We know he missed the last 2 days under protocol, but just rock solid in that first half.
Yeah, for his first playoff start as well. With all the pressure on the line, McLeod Bethel-Thompson stood on his head in the first half with a lot of pressure in his face, and he was just taking what was given to him, and he was very good in that first half, going 11 of 15 and 126 yards, and it was just like clockwork. But they stalled, right? And you can move him between the 20s, but you got to finish. But he was doing a really nice job of that, just directing this offense like he never missed practice in the most important week of the season. And this is with a couple players that have gone down. He's lost Eric Rogers, and Curly Gittins is in question for the second half as well. So that's a look there. I just love that. That's on the PI that he thought he had in the end zone. And it was just one of those reactions that, you got to show that. This guy's on fire. I think he's the soul of this football team. He's played a good first half. And look, if you're the Toronto Argonauts, what you have to do is you have to simply say, hey, we're up 12-0, and it's 0-0 from here. You can't worry about what happened there. Yeah, we left points on the board. It doesn't matter. We're up 12-0. Let's go out there and pitch another shutout in the second half and get this done.
Pretty impressive by that Argo defense, holding these Hamilton Tiger Cats to 0 points. And I'll talk about this defense, but I also want to talk about Jeremiah Mazzoli. And I know a lot of people were cheering for Jeremiah coming into this game, and a lot of people were wondering, okay, how long is this leash is going to be? Well, I think after this play right here, Orlando Steinhauer said, okay, that's enough. I can't go with you anymore, Jeremiah. We have time to throw the ball. You don't throw it away. And then you fumble the ball. And what we saw in the first half just wasn't impressive for Jeremiah. And a big reason was this defense. And great defense doesn't always mean causing turnovers or getting sacks. A lot of times it's just making great tackles, forcing the opposing team in the second and long, second and medium, and making a tackle. And so far, that's what these Argos have done a great job. Talk about what they've done on offense, but holding the team to 0 points in the first half, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, and more impressive, you know that coming into the game, Tommy Condell, this offense, they would have dialed up their best stuff that they'd seen on film, that they had saved for this matchup, for this game, and we would have saw it in the first half. And the Argos still shut them out. Jeremiah, 4 for 6, 22 yards in the first quarter. So my concerns with the Argos secondary, none. They got their communication figured out thus far, and tip of the cap to those guys. Big fella, Jagarrett Davis. I always had clamored of the athletic ability of Jagarrett Davis. He's a freak to me when I see some of the things he did. There were opportunities for the Argos, though, in that first half. If he runs off the left buttocks of Philip Lake there, he scores. But they were down there twice, only got 6 points. And this play by Jagarrett Davis, look at him like a defensive back. He closes. He doesn't look back until he gets in phase. And then the big fella gets his big paw up there and gets a PBU. That's nice. I always say, though, the burst and the change of direction in combination with the size of Jagarrett Davis, he could have been a $5 to $10 million a year edge rusher down there. His burst and change of direction. Well, I don't care. He is up here, but I'm saying his athletic ability compares to guys I've seen down there that have that type of burst. He's that talented. You saw it. They're looking like a defensive back.
That was a pretty good play. That was a pretty good play. As you talked about, he turned. He wasn't looking at the receiver. He turned, looked back at the quarterback, made a play. And don't get me wrong, it wasn't a great throw, but Jagarrett Davis.
He's got faster feet than you, Milt. Oh, wow. Struck a nerve. Okay, that was fun. So that's our current game. Coming up later on, as you know, it's going to be the West Final between the Saskatchewan Roughriders and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. Calm down down there. We'll go to James Duthie and Jim Barker after the break.
Another chapter in this legendary rivalry between the black and gold and the double blue. The corner, batted away to Jagarrett Davis in coverage. He's in trouble. He goes down to the ball, pops loose. It's going to be scooped up by Toronto. It's Edwards. A look at Dane Evans, who's now out on the field with this offense. Evans stays on his feet, eventually is tracked down from behind.
The 108th Grey Cup is coming to Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton. Tickets are on sale now. Visit Ticketmaster.ca/Grey Cup to purchase and join in on the excitement.
Coming up after after the Tiger Cats and the Argos, it will be the West Final. A perfect 7-0 this season at IG Field, having outscored opponents 196-62. The Bombers looking to keep it rolling in very wintry conditions. Pre-game begins 3:30 Eastern with more. Here's James Duffy.
All right, thank you, Kate, alongside the coach. And this was during our pregame, if you were with us, about an hour and a half ago. Completely covered in snow, was snowing all morning. Well, we have to give some love to the crews because this is right now, and they've done that basically an hour, the snowplow crews. And the handful of players that have been out on the field so far, they've said it's actually really good footing. So that bodes well for both the Bombers and Saskatchewan as we bring in the coach, Jim Barker. Since they haven't played a meaningful game since October 23rd, we probably have to do a refresher course from everybody on how dominant the Bombers were this year. They won their last 9 games that mattered when they weren't resting starters. They've won 18 of 19 at home, which is ridiculous in this league. I guess you have to search to find a flaw. I guess the one could be that they haven't played a meaningful game in so long. Would that concern you at all?
Not one bit. And it doesn't concern Mike O'Shea either, I would believe. He's built this team, and Kyle Walters, with veteran players. He's got guys who have done this before. I've never met a veteran player that says, well, I'd rather play this week than not. Every player, if they have a chance to rest and get better, they're going to do that. These guys are pros. They practiced hard. Zach told us yesterday, practices have been tough, and that they've been able to maintain their intensity through practice. And I believe with veterans like they have, that's absolutely so. He's not worried about it.
Saskatchewan, of course, did play last week, and what a gutsy effort in that victory at home against the Calgary Stampeders. Are you worried at all? I guess it's momentum versus did they exhaust themselves emotionally with that win that was so big for the franchise?
It was a huge win, but I do believe it did exhaust them. At the end of that game, well, you and I sat and listened to these guys. We had players saying this was the biggest game of their careers. Craig Dickinson, the biggest game since he's been there. Well, when you go through that and then it's double overtime and you win it the way they won it, that takes a lot out of your club. And again, I think it's going to be a very, very difficult game for them emotionally. Not to mention the Duke Williams injury and his turf toe, how he's going to be.
Right.
Not to mention any of that. But just to get your team ready to play and focused after what they went through last week it's tough.
Saskatchewan better get its points early. The Bombers gave up 1.3 points per game in the fourth quarter in the games that mattered this year. 1.3. A rouge, a game in the fourth quarter, Kate, and gave up a total of 0 points in the 2 second halves they played against Saskatchewan.
All right, looking forward to that one, but we have to finish up this one in the East first. Argos up 12-0. Matthew Shinetti standing by with McLeod Bethel Thompson after this.
Find the one you can't live without. Get a ring, let your knee hit the ground. Do what you love, but call it work. And throw a little money in the plate at church. Send your prayers up and your roots down.
Well, these two teams would sure like to find pay dirt. Come on, Bill. That was good, and you know it. Thank you.
Yeah, the Argos up 12-0, but the way they dominated that first half, you think it would be more. Well, a big reason for that domination has to be the play of DJ Foster, leading the team in rushing and receiving. The second half comes about. Will Dane Evans and the boys be able to bring his team back and seal a victory?
All right, here's our Matthew Shinetti with McLeod Bethel Thompson.
MBT, I imagine you're happy with how the offense is moving, except for when you get inside the 30-yard line. How do you convert those and get touchdowns in the second half?
Yeah, we just got to be better when it gets down there tight. So it's a championship team we're facing. They're still king of the East until we dethrone them. So offense has to be better to beat this team.
But I imagine, though, you're liking the emotions that you're getting out of your team so far to be able to go in 2 scores up, essentially, and holding them to no points.
Never gave the win for a lead at halftime. So we got a lot more work to do, and we have to be better. These guys are the kings of the East until we dethrone them.
Thanks, MBT.
Yep.
All right, MBT and the Argos currently up 12-0 thanks to 4 field goals by Boris Beatty. Second half action from BMO Field coming up right after this.
What you're made of and how bad you are. When the stakes are high and the lights are on, you and the way
Hamilton Tiger Cats on the road, trailing 12-0 to Toronto here in the East Final. Head coach Orlando Steinauer is with our Matthew Shinetti.
Orlando, plenty of emotions on your side in that first half. What was the message in the locker room?
Well, we got to play. We got to play, right? We're shooting ourselves in the foot. Too many penalties. We're in scoring territory, and we turned the ball over twice. Defense is playing decent. We got to just pick it up.
Who will be your starting quarterback in the second half?
Dane will start.
Thank you, Rich.
Yep, thank you.
Dane Evans will get the ball for the Ticats in the second half. He is 7 of 7 for 65 yards, replacing Jeremiah Mazzoli, who was 4 of 6 for 22 yards and a fumble in that opening half. Ticats, here's the thing. Toronto's moved the ball, and they're going to get it here first. They moved the ball extremely well, but they've had to settle for 4 field goals so far, keeping the Ticats in this game. Return here from Worthy, and it'll be stopped just inside the 30.
Just unable to finish.
Excellent opening half for DJ Foster. Foster combined 86 yards of offense through the air, 47 on 2 catches, 39 yards on the ground as well. By far, undebatable, the best offensive player on either side in the opening half of this ball game. Bethel Thompson over the middle and has a completion early. Goes right back to Rogers, who left the first half after getting a little bit banged up. Had 3 catches in the opening half. Comes back and they go right back to him here.
Yeah, it looks like they got Eric Rogers in the room at halftime where it was a little bit warmer to work on him, get him loosened up. He came out a little bit ahead of his teammates to continue warming up, doing a few football-related movements, changing direction, etc., to test out that leg. And so far, so good, clearly.
1st and 10 on the 43, far side, almost batted away. Nice play there by Kelly, as he was all over Foster. As once again, McLeod Bethel Thompson tried to go back to his running back.
Get an indication here of the skill set of Cameron Kelly, a guy ideally suited to play that nickel linebacker spot. Strong enough to play in the box against the run, but terrific range in terms of his pass coverage as well.
Among the league leaders in knockdowns this season is Cameron Kelly. 2nd and 10 now for MBT. Steps back, some pressure in his face. Can't escape it. Garrett Davis is there, and he's going to take him down for a huge loss. And the big fella continues to make plays for this Ticats defense.
Garrett Davis coming off that right edge, working against Deshaun Allen. Just got underneath him a little bit to drive back the Argonaut offensive tackle en route to the quarterback.
3rd and 19. And BD lets this fly from just inside his own 25. Takes a bounce out of bounds at the Hamilton 38 as Jagarrett Davis trying to set the tone for this Ticats defense early in the second half. As he gets home on McLeod Bethel Thompson, Ticats will have the ball for the first time in the 3rd quarter when we return. Well, Dane Evans will remain in the game here to start the second half for the Ticats. Did some good work on both sides of the ball, actually, in the opening half.
Yeah, Dane Evans, after a Stephen Dunbar catch and fumble, Enoch Mwamba recovers, laterals to Shaq Richardson. And Dane Evans, he just wants his ball back.
He's got it now, and he's down 12. Need to find some offense. Do the Ticats. They'll go to Jackson, and Jackson will push ahead. Jackson had 35 yards on 6 carries in the first half of the ball game. As Evans 7 for 7 since coming into the game, and they were driving. You heard Orlando tell Shinetti there at halftime, you know, we've got into scoring position. We just gave the ball away.
Yeah, and I mean, you look at those turnovers in scoring position as the defense has been able to limit Toronto to field goals. I mean, it is a 2-possession ball game.
2nd and 5 for Evans. 3 targets out to the left. He's in trouble. Steps up, not going to get away again. Argos defense is there to take him down. Shane Ray to the quarterback.
Well, we've been hearing about Shane Ray ever since training camp for the Toronto Argonauts, former NFL first-round pick. He's battled injuries throughout this season. This is Shane Ray's first sack in the Canadian Football League.
Came in a pretty good time, man.
Yeah.
This kick will come down to Worthy at the 35. Nowhere to go. Pretty much nothing on that return. Both defenses came to play today. This time it was Shane Ray, as Dwayne mentioned, first sack of his CFL career. Gets the ball back for Toronto. TSN Hockey continues tonight with a Canadian clash as the Leafs are on the road to face off against the Jets. Coverage begins at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern on TSN 3 and 4 in the Leafs and Jets region. Both offenses stalling here to start the 3rd quarter. McLeod Bethel-Thompson now gets the ball back. He'll hand it off to Foster. And after a couple of yards in the initial push, he is wrapped up and taken down for a short gain on the play. Ted Laurent there to wrap him up.
A terrific first half offensively for the Toronto Argonauts. We would say everywhere except on the scoreboard. McLeod Bethel-Thompson looking very good, showing no ill effects after being sidelined through the last couple days of practice, or even the layoff.
2nd and 8 now, pressure right up the middle, gets it away. Collins hammered down on the far side by Seontae Evans, and that'll bring up 3rd down once again. Katsatonis was brought right up the middle.
Yeah, unblocked safety blitz provides a little bit of pressure. You're going to see Katsatonis hit this one on the run from his safety spot. A-gap opens up. Bethel-Thompson sees it coming, gets the ball out on time. Nice adjustment there, blitz adjustment by Ricky Collins Jr. to get his head around in a hurry.
Beatty standing inside his own 30, ready to kick this away to Poppy White. High snap, brings it down, lets it fly. Solid kick. White's going to have to backpedal inside his 20 to pick it up. Has a little bit of room when he initially grabbed this, and now he's got some room on the far side of the field. Poppy White, one more block. Midfield now, will he be able to cut it back inside? Poppy White, he's gone. Will they catch him to the 15, the 10, to the house? A huge return and a touchdown for Poppy White, and the Ticats are in business. Wow.
Now this is something that's been missing for the Hamilton Tiger Cats since Frankie Williams went out of their lineup. Nobody in the league makes more big plays, has made more big plays going back to 2019 than Williams. This team was not the same without him. Big part of the reason for a roster decision they made coming into the final week of the regular season. They released American kicker Taylor Bertolette, went Canadian at kicker, which allows them to get another designated American on. Poppy White is a returner. He's been the most effective returner they've had by far since Williams went out of the lineup, and he just proved it again. Huge play, huge roster decision for the Ticats.
Extra point is wide left. Kamagala misses. Wow.
Playing Ticats, we in it.
Just when things are going well.
Well, and this is a little too haunting, right? When you're the Hamilton Tiger Cats, they missed 3 extra points the entire regular season. All 3 of them were against the Toronto Argonauts. 2 of them came in games that they lost to Toronto by 1 point.
Something to keep in mind as we work our way down the stretch in this one. Beatty, the last man with a crack at him. but he wasn't going to slow him down. And by the time that kick got to White, he had a lot of room to kind of get things fired up, right?
Yeah, he sure did. Pick and choose his path. It was very well blocked return. Nice job by the architect of the Ticats special teams, veteran CFL coach Jeff Reinbold.
Well, when you can't get anything going offensively, you need some aspect of your team to step up and give you a bolt of energy, and special teams just got it done for the Ticats, and really the first adversity now that the Argos have had to face in this game today.
Yeah, it really is. You know, but again, we talked about this last week because it was the Tiger Cat defense that kind of got things going. Set up the offense with short field a couple times. The challenge is that it doesn't really give the defense a break in a game where they've been on the field a lot.
This will be taken just inside the 30 by Ouellette. Stays on his feet, gets it back up to about the 40. Let's send it down to the sidelines and Matthew Shinetti.
Dustin, before Poppy White took that to the house, Don Jackson went up to him, looked him in the eye and said, "This next play is going to be the biggest play of your life." As the team was celebrating, Don Jackson came up to me, looked me in the eye and said, "I told Poppy, guys."
Don Jackson's a prophet. Who would have known?
It would look good on a t-shirt. I told Poppy.
Well, we got a game at BMO Field now. 12-6. Argos on top of the ball. Just a great atmosphere here in Toronto today. For Bethel Thompson, empty backfield. 3 to the left, 3 to the right. Throws to the left, down the field. That one almost picked off. He was looking for Davaris Daniels. First time we've mentioned his name today, and Ciante Evans was there in coverage. We have not seen many deep shots down the field on either side of the ball today.
No, and this one, as Bethel Thompson looks deep, Dylan Wynn with a quick swim move on the interior on Shane Richards. Supplies the pressure on McLeod. Bethel Thompson. Ciante Evans almost coming up with the pick, as you mentioned, Dustin, on the other end of that one.
2nd and 10 on his own 40. Bethel Thompson down the field again, looking for Breskison, through his hands, incomplete. Dropped it in over the shoulder of Juwan Breskison, but he could not come up with it.
Well, there's that matchup again. Former Calgary teammates, Tunde Adeleke, Juwan Breskison. Again, Adeleke, Tiger Cats nominee as most outstanding Canadian and all-star at free safety. But for the second consecutive week here in the playoffs, forced to move to play the field half position.
Another kick from Beattie. White goes back and gets this one this time. Will they slow him down? They do. They'll trip him up just outside the 20. He wasn't able to take that one back, but he did just get to the end zone. Poppy White past everybody and gets the Ticats on the board. They've got the momentum, and they'll have the ball when we return. The road to the Grey Cup continues today with the West Final as the Riders take on the Bombers. Catch the action immediately following this game only on TSN. I know the weather's a big story out there, but it's snowing here a little bit too, Dwayne, right? Like we can have some weather discussions.
Sure.
Coming down here a little bit.
Ticat offense is going to need to get going if they're going to be eating anything today.
Evans wanted to go downfield, might have another crack at it now. And he's got a completion out at the 45, got it into the hands of Brandon Banks, stays on his feet down the sideline, and eventually is taken out by Jalen Collins. There's a big play from Speedy B.
Well, Dane Evans goes off script to make something happen. They got a big play on special teams, now a big play on offense. Dane Evans extending the play, finds Brandon Banks, makes a terrific effort after the catch to pick up some extra yards and spark his team.
Evans is now 8 for 8 for a $112. Gives it to Jackson, cuts it back up. And he'll pick up about 3 or 4 yards in that first down scamper. Both teams seem a little bit more willing to get this ball down the field here in the third quarter, and it's led to some excitement so far here at BMO.
Yeah, opening things up.
Ticats were shut out here in the first half. Back in week 15, it was Toronto 14-0 shutout in the first half here today, but Poppy White gets him on the board, and now Evans will be looking for a little bit more. 2nd and 6 on the Toronto 37. Trips to the left. Evans comes underneath to Jackson, and he will be stopped short of the first down. Caught that ball, did not have time to really turn around and make a play with it, though. And that'll bring up 3rd down for the Ticats.
Don Jackson, the second that ball was spotted, turned to the bench saying, go for it, go for it.
Right away, hey, he did not hesitate, but they're going to set up a field goal attempt here for Damagala, who missed an extra point earlier in the quarter.
Kicking has not been a strength for the Tiger Cats this season.
They're going to fake the kick. Evans is going to keep it, trying to push ahead, and he's got a first down. How's that for a call? Ticats trickery keeps the offense on the field.
You develop these plays over the course of the season and tuck them away for just the right moment.
I was wondering if they were going to try a 41-yarder into the wind here at BMO too.
And again, something that has not been their strength this season. Dane Evans taking that ball. He spent a lot of time as the Tiger Cats short yardage. Quarterbacks are very comfortable in that circumstance. He gets the job done. Good call, good execution. Well-timed gamble for Hamilton.
Special teams has swung this game for the Ticats. They still trail by 6, though. Over the middle, wide open, a completion to the end zone. Touchdown, Jalen Acklin.
We got a ball game.
Ticats go on top. Evans with the strike. Tied at 12 with the extra point pending.
Here you'll get a great look. The blitz is coming. Watch Don Jackson get across. He essentially takes 2. With the blitz coming, the middle has been vacated. Dane Evans spots it. Acklin takes the hold down the middle. We got a tie ball game.
And they will attempt to go up by 2. Deadlocked at 12. Evans in trouble. He's going to be taken down, and we will remain tied. Hamilton with 12 unanswered to lock this thing up midway through the third quarter. Evans finds Jalen Acklin. 5th touchdown of the season. Don't go anywhere.
Big touchdown grab there for Jalen Acklin. Take advantage of a blitzing Toronto defense. Now here you're going to see Kalinich and Jackson both come to this side of the formation. That's going to lead Shaq Richardson to cheat that way. 2 defenders blitz off this side. Watch what happens. Jackson goes back to pick it up. But that side defensively has been compromised, because they've taken defenders from that side into the blitz. Jalen Acklin ends up wide open, uncovered. With the blitz picked up, Evans has time to find him. Perfect execution there for the Tiger Cats offense.
5-play, 88-yard drive, 2 minutes and 31 seconds. They've come back to tie this game at 12, and they've done it going into the wind here in the third quarter. They'll have the wind in the fourth quarter at their back. Chandler Worthy on the return, takes it back to the 40, and now an opportunity here for this Argos offense to kind of just settle things down a little bit. Any sort of sustained drive would be good news right now for the home side.
Yeah, try and stem this Hamilton momentum, and believe me, the crowd we have here at BMO Field, there's probably as much black and gold as there is double blue. As someone who approached the stadium driving in from the west today, I can tell you there was a lot of traffic coming from that direction.
They start this drive on their 40. Michael Thompson fakes the handoff. He's going to look down the field again. Way down the field! No flag! Incomplete! Was looking for Ricky Collins. Broken up. Collins can't believe it.
Yeah, Jamal Roll was the man who tracked him down. You know, and a lot of credit. And there's Collins' complaint is that Roll kind of runs through him as Collins tries to slow down to adjust to that football.
Slowing down to get underneath it, and Roll just kept going.
But to me, that's good defense by Jamal Roll trying to make a play on the ball.
2nd and 10. Over the middle. Thompson's got a man wide open down to the 40. And he'll take it inside the 35. Gittins Jr. A big chunk there for the Argos. 37 yards.
What a breakout season Curly Gittins Jr. has had. He's out wide to the right side of your screen. But he paces his route nicely to break into just as that hole opens up in behind the linebackers in front of the DBs. Nice touch there from Bethel Thompson.
Just the 2nd catch of the day. Bethel Thompson, this one's up for grabs, batted down. Should say batted up by Jagera Davis. And it does fall incomplete. That'll bring up 2nd and 10.
A good response drive here for the Argos thus far with the big play to Gittins, but now a critical 2nd and 10 comes up.
Creep towards 3.5 minutes on the clock. Here in the 3rd quarter, deadlocked at a dozen. Bethel Thompson towards the end zone. Breskison! No, incomplete. Adeleke in coverage. And now Breskison barrels over a Ticat. And they have taken a number of deep shots to 11 in double blue. I thought he almost had this one, Dwayne.
Yeah, and you can see for the Toronto Argonauts, we talked about Juwan Breskison being back in the lineup, in the starting lineup for them as he's back to 100% finally. And the threat that he provides downfield. And here you see it's about that catch radius. You look at the height difference. He's able to get his hands on that football over top of Tunde Adeleke. But Adeleke gets his hand in there, prevents Breskison from getting the 2nd hand on the ball to secure the catch.
A 41-yard attempt for Beatty, and this one is wide left. Boris Beatty misses.
As world champion, I prepare to win. I still do today. Every game starts at bet99.net.
Well, he missed it. They do go on top 13-12, but Boris Beatty, who's been used a lot today, just pulled this one.
Yeah, and Boris Beatty has been one of the hottest, not just kickers, but one of the hottest players in the Canadian Football League. The 2nd half of the season, hit a game winner against Hamilton in Hamilton back in October. And yeah, having accounted, I mean, still accounted for all of Toronto's points in this football game. And now 4 for 5 on the day.
Ticats start the drive on their own 35. Evans is 10 for 10 for 146 yards today. And this one he will keep and push ahead for just a short pickup on first down. But yeah, Dane Evans, 10-10, 146 and a touchdown. It's been a change has worked so far, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean, this is what the Hamilton Tiger Cats were looking for. Evans seems to have provided a spark on a day where Masoli was having a tough start, but, you know, I mean, Matthew Shinetti talked about it earlier. We've discussed it over the course of this season. You know, these are two guys who have very much considered themselves a quarterbacking tandem. Include David Watford in that. They need all three of them to get there.
2nd and 8 here for Evans. Pulls it down, spins away, and then stripped down and finished off. He thought he was going to get free, but Coney Ely had other ideas. Chris Jones, a happy man, as his defense makes a play.
Ely, the defensive tackle, another early round NFL pick. Drawing into this defensive line rotation today, like Shane Ray, he's battled injuries a lot of the season. Gets it done there.
Horrible kick, but there's a flag as it bounces. Worthy's going to slide over. He'll take this at the 50 and push ahead before being stopped near midfield. But there's a couple of flags on the far side of the field right as that ball was shanked there by Whitford.
During the return, holding, Toronto number 83. 10-yard penalty, the first down Toronto.
All right, let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti.
Well, the way walk concept is something Orlando Steinauer has had since he started being a coach, Dustin. It means, what are you working on today? All season, the Ticats have dealt with adversity, injuries, disappointing losses. But Dylan Wynn says Waywat is something every day he comes in and knows that he has to be 1% better every single day. And I asked Brandon Banks about it. Through his career, everything he's tried to achieve in the CFL, he says Waywat is the one thing that keeps me motivated every single day. Orlando Steinauer, when I said, what does it mean to you? Simply, it means work. Guys,
a nice look inside the Ticats mindset. There's a handoff and nowhere to go. They'll take a loss on the play. Malik Carney having himself a day.
Yes, sir. Carney getting a little bit more opportunity in that D-line rotation. Hamilton not dressing as many D linemen today as they had dressed for that Eastern semi a week ago. Mason Bennett also has been down for the playoffs with an eye injury suffered in the last week of the regular season. So for Carney, defensive end, he's getting some snaps and he's making the most of it.
Had 11 sacks at UNC in 2019. Bethel Thompson, 2nd and 13, in trouble again. They're going to yank him down. Ticats defense does it again. Jagarrett Davis does it again. They mean business here in the second half.
Tell you what, Jagarrett Davis is an absolute monster. Coming from the right side of your screen. He's going to work inside here, working a twist with Dylan Wynn. Just gets a hold of Bethel Thompson. Hauls him down. Big loss for the Argos. Little field position boost as Poppy White awaits the punt.
12-yard loss. Beattie kicks this away. White slides underneath it at the 35. Poppy White right back outside the 40. A short return, but pretty good field position here for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. And what a third quarter it has been. The Ticats get right back in this ball game. They trail the Argos 13-12. Do not go anywhere. Fourth quarter is going to be a beauty. Got to watch this coming up next. Fourth quarter is just around the corner, and it's a one-point ball game. Argos on top, 13-12 here against the Ticats. Both teams able to move the ball a little bit through the air there in that third quarter play.
Yeah, definitely. Both teams opening it up a little bit, becoming a little bit more aggressive. Hamilton finding some success since making that change at quarterback. Dane Evans on a pretty good roll, and obviously a big boost for them getting a huge play on special teams from Poppy White.
I'm just excited for this fourth quarter. I think we're in for a great finish here at BMO Field. I'm very excited to see how this one plays out. Obviously an excellent rivalry between these two clubs. And we really wouldn't have it any other way. A one-point game coming down to the wire here with that big West final looming a little bit later on TSN. Bombers, Riders still to come, but we got 15 left here. Evans, a little bit of time. Now he's got another completion to Acklin, and that's going to take the ball onto Toronto side of the field.
Dane Evans has been much talked about. The velocity with which he can spin that football gives Jalen Acklin the heater right there for another quick completion and a Tiger Cat first down.
Evans 11 for 11. Jackson standing to the right of his quarterback. Evans with pressure coming, dumps it off underneath, and that's a completion there to Kalinic. Kalinic stays on his feet, takes it down inside the 25. A big pickup for 84.
Yeah, don't sleep on the fullback. Lines up. He's on the right side of your screen. Kalinic usually a blocker. And that's basically how the Toronto defense treated him. Nobody goes with him in coverage, anticipating that he's out there to help them run the ball and provide a little extra protection.
Handed off to Jackson in a solid burst on first down here. Get about half of what they need.
Tiger Cats go back to that base 5 receiver set. Kalinic gets a well-earned break after that big catch.
3 receivers to the right here for Evans. Brandon Banks and Tim White in the slot. Oh, handed off. Jackson staying on his feet. He's got a first down. Takes it inside the Toronto 15. When they were having trouble moving the ball in the first half, Jackson was really the only thing that was working. And now they decided to feed him a little bit here. And they knock on the door once again, do the Ticats.
Yeah, as they've loosened up the defense, there will be more opportunities for Jackson.
Evans dumps it off. It's Acklin. Can he find the end zone again? Stumbling. Comes up just short. Oh, looked like he was going to get there. Quick smile as he's helped off the field.
Yeah, watch Acklin cross the formation, slips out to the flat. That's first look with the blitz coming. Front side on Dane Evans. And here we go, short yardage.
It'll be first and goal for the Ticats from the Toronto 2. Dane Evans, perfect 13 of 13 through the air in this game. Keeps it on the ground towards the end zone. Dane Evans stopped just short. Can't be much closer than that.
There we'll take a look at the great above view. Offensive line, everybody's flowing to their right.
Inches.
It is a game of just that.
Put it back on the Toronto 1. Another crack at it here for Dane Evans. Pushing behind the line, flags as he reaches over the end zone, and he's got it. Touchdown, Ticats, Dane Evans.
Let's go. Offside. Toronto defensive line. A penalty is declined. Result of the play is a touchdown.
Evans and the Ticats offense has come alive here in the second half.
Yeah, here you'll see Dane Evans reaches over the top as things get blocked up a little bit. Great camera work. He clearly has it. And launches this one out onto the lawn of the food building.
It was an excellent throw. It really was.
Saw a group of fans go scurrying after that football.
Hamilton on top for the first time today. They will look for a couple more. Evans, 4 receivers to his right. Hands it off. Huge. Into the end zone. Don Jackson.
That's a huge 2-point conversion for Hamilton as it puts them up by 7.
Ticats with 20 so far in the second half. A 7-point lead for Evans and the visitors.
I might do that. So this the audio, that's the video. You lucky as hell. You lucky. You lucky. You lucky.
Sit your ass down and watch the game. Watch the show.
Don't miss a new episode of CFL Wire, bringing you exclusive access to the latest CFL football highlights. Catch it Wednesday at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, only on TSN. Sit down and watch the show. Sit down and watch CFL Wire.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. I could have reached on the first one, but I really didn't know.
I think I just heard Dane Evans say, yeah, I'm good. And I mean, 13 of 13 for 199 yards and a touchdown through the air and a touchdown on the ground today as well. All of this started, though, by a special teams return from Poppy White. This will come down to Chandler Worthy. Takes it at the 11. Worthy near sideline. And he will be forced out of bounds at the 33-yard line. And an opportunity here for McLeod Bethel Thompson to come out here now trailing in the football game for the first time.
Yeah, I mean, a game that came in billed as this matchup between two longtime friends off the field, rivals off it, Jeremiah Masoli and McLeod Bethel Thompson. Rival quarterbacks in their high school days in the San Francisco Bay Area in California, but it has come down to a battle between Bethel Thompson and Dane Evans. Evans has kind of upped the stakes here.
Procedure, Toronto number 59. 5-yard penalty, remains first down.
They'll be backed up 5 yards. Dejon Allen gets caught.
Why you all in my dog's face like that, though, bro?
Jeremiah Mazzoli started this game, went 4 of 6 for 22 yards, had a fumble, and it's been all Evans since. 1st and 15 now. They'll hand it off to Lett. And he really didn't have anywhere to go, and that'll bring up 2nd and long for McLeod Bethel Thompson. Just over 10 minutes to work here. 1-score game. But for Toronto, you see where they sit now, and you think about settling for a couple of 10-yard field goals in the early stages of this game and how it might come back to bite you in the butt.
Yeah, and again, a team that's pretty good in short yardage in terms of being able to pick up more than a couple of yards.
Bethel Thompson gets it away, but nowhere to go for Curly Gittens Jr. He's wrapped up and taken down by Adeleke, and that'll bring up 3rd and long, so they'll have to kick it away one more time. Down 7.
Well, much credit to the Hamilton secondary over the last couple of weeks, where they've had a number of players having to play out of position. Today, a change happening early in the game. Last week, it was a last-minute switch when Deontay Evans was a game-time decision. So we have some early movement here.
And everybody is pointing at everybody. Officials will sort this mess out as Beatty looks on. He is ready to kick this to Poppy White. And I don't know if it's related, but since his return touchdown, the offense just seems to have clicked as well.
Offside, Hamilton number 84. Be a 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
So Hamilton's going to go in this situation now, 3rd and 1.
Toronto's bringing the offense back out on the field.
Offense comes back, defense comes back.
So the 5-yard penalty, and instead of 3rd and 6 in a kicking situation. It'll be 3rd and 1 with the ball on their own 42, down 7, and they're going to keep the offense on the field. Huge opportunity here for this Ticats defense. Pipkin up under center, needs a yard. There's a flag as he tries to cut around the line. He's going to be stopped at the 40, but did they line up offside? They might have. Argos are saying they did. Was a huge stop. Here's the call.
Offside. Hamilton, number 95. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Julian Hauser.
There you see that hand. Within a yard. Will they get a big stuff on the front side? Argos get a second chance.
Bethel Thompson in a double reverse. They're going to get it into the hands of Gittins Jr. Makes one man miss, pushing ahead. And they get about 4 yards out of it. Trying to throw this Ticats defense off a little bit.
Well, Ticats secondary does a nice job after the second handoff. So there's the flip to Worthy, the lateral to Curly Gittins. But watch the job done here. Tunde Adeleke gets outside leverage on the lead blocker, McLeod Bethel Thompson, forces the play back in.
Huge pass over the middle into the hands of Davaris Daniels by McLeod Bethel Thompson, and now all of a sudden the Argos are in business.
First catch of the day for Davaris Daniels, but remember, a couple of penalties extended this drive. They had Toronto in a 3rd and long punting situation.
Back-to-back penalties keeping Toronto's offense on the field. And now Bethel Thompson trying to work some magic. They'll hand it off to Ouellette. And once again, after a short surge, he's going to be stopped after about 3 yards.
A.J. Ouellette, teammate of Poppy White at Ohio University. The Bobcats looking to see if he can duplicate a little bit of his former teammates' magic here on Eastern Final Sunday.
Ticats defense looking to shut things down here. 2nd and 7 on the Hamilton 41. For Bethel Thompson, a bad snap. It's going to be picked up by Ouellette. And he'll get about a yard out of it to the 40. And that is where they will be stopped. Horrible time for that to happen for the Argos.
Great heads-up play by the running back. Not just to get to that ball, but to actually get to it in a way that he was able to advance it.
And this will set up a long field goal attempt for Boris Beatty. 4 of 5 today is long from 47. This one straight away from 47 as well. To make it a 4-point game, Beatty right down the middle, and that one is good. The Argos come away with points on the drive, and they trail 20-16 here at home. Beatty, a busy boy today. 5 of 6 has his team within striking distance.
Andrew Harris officially in today as the Blue Bombers are getting set for the West Final from IG Field. Riders, Bombers coming up right after the Tiger Cats and the Argos.
That game sounds terrific, but not just yet. We got just over 6 minutes remaining here, and what should be a great finish at BMO Field in Toronto. Ticats get the ball back and once again into the hands of Jackson. How about this? Takes it for more than 15 on that first down carry. Biggest of the day for Don Jackson.
And we talked a little bit earlier about the decision, the roster decision essentially to get Poppy White on the roster.
Yes.
And how that has paid off for them. Also took a little bit of juggling, and including getting people healthy, Chris Van Zyl in particular, the Canadian at right tackle, that allows them to get Don Jackson on the field. And just add a little extra spark, a little extra depth in that backfield. He's made a difference today.
There he goes again, hangs on to this ball as he lunges ahead, takes it down to the Toronto 50. That'll put him over 80 yards on the day on the ground.
A nice quick lateral bounce there. Jackson to find the hole.
Second and 2 for the Ticats. Back to Jackson, lunging ahead, reaching out, looking for that first down. And that extra effort might have been enough.
And there you see Jackson tagging out Sean Thomas Erlington, who is the Cats' leading rusher during the regular season. Very capable running back himself, University of Montreal product. Checks into the game.
Thomas Erlington, 4 touchdowns on the ground this season. Quick breather for Don Jackson. First and 10 for Evans. This time they'll try to set up a little bit of a screen on the far side for Banks. One stiff arm, stays on his feet, tries to cut it back, and eventually they'll wrap him up and take him down. Preston Butler to finish him off. Third catch of the day for Banks.
Yeah, and credit Brandon Banks for making something out of nothing here, as the Tiger Cats were outnumbered in terms of blockers and defenders when they throw this bubble screen out to Brandon Banks. 2 blockers trying to get to 3 defenders there.
Big play here. Less than 4 minutes to go. 2nd and 7. Can Evans keep this offense on the field? 3 options out to his left. Dumps it off underneath. That'll be complete. There's a flag. Still going. It's Acklin down to the 20, inside the 15 before he's forced out of bounds. Have yourself a day, Jalen Acklin. Flag will be
Major
against
foul,
the Argos.
Roughing the quarterback. Toronto number 56. Half the distance to the goal, automatic first down.
Shane Ray. Here's the look.
Yeah, Shane Ray's coming from the top of your screen. He follows through with kind of a 2-hand shot to the chin of Dane Evans as he throws the ball. That led to the 2 of them jawing at each other a little bit.
And now we've got another flag inside the 10 as the Ticats were in the huddle. Chris Edwards in the thick of it.
Objectionable conduct, Hamilton number 69. Be a 10-yard penalty. It'll be 1st and 10.
Jordan Murray getting the objectionable conduct call, and that will back the Ticats up to the Toronto 16.
This is one of the challenges when you get games like this. We as fans and media obviously love it when you get the big rivalry games combined with the intensity that goes along with playoffs. But as players, you got to control your emotions.
1st and 10 for Evans, empty backfield, 3 to the right, 3 to the left. He goes to the right, has a completion to White. White taken down just shy of the end zone. So close for Tim White.
Tim White, East Division All-Star and the Tiger Cats' leading receiver during the regular season. Relatively quiet today, but does a nice job here. Makes Jamal Peters miss. Shakes Shaq Richardson. He's got it down to the 1-yard line.
That takes us to 3 minutes here at BMO Field. Ticats looking to possibly seal this thing away. Hamilton Tiger Cats did not look good going into halftime, but it's been a different story here in the second half of this football game.
Yeah, huge response in the third quarter. And again, sometimes when the offense isn't really going, it takes something from the defense or special teams to ignite the fire. It was a big return from Poppy White. You remember even on the offensive touchdown, special teams, that fake field goal kept that drive alive.
Dane Evans time again, pushing towards the end zone. He's in. Touchdown Ticats. It's a deuce for Dane Evans. Hamilton fans who have graced us with their presence at BMO Field today, ecstatic.
A great push by the left guard, Brandon Revenberg. Takes his man, Ely, into the end zone.
Hey, let's go.
Evans tucks in behind him for the score.
Huddle.
The lead for now is 10. Officials sorting out some flags that came at the end of this play. But what a story Dane Evans has been since coming into this game. Dwayne, he's 16 of 16 for 249 yards. Does not have an incompletion in this game, and he's rushed for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and you know, give Orlando Steinauer a lot of credit here. A lot of people called for...
After the play, we have 2 fouls. We have unnecessary roughness, Toronto 56. We have an objectionable conduct on Toronto. Both those are penalties will be applied on the next kickoff.
Toronto coming slightly unraveled here.
Yeah, melting down on this drive. But again, going back to that, the decision to change quarterbacks, a lot of people have been at times, as Jeremiah Masoli had his ups and downs down the stretch, calling for Dane Evans, calling for the change to be made. You know, Orlando Steinauer wasn't blind. He knew he had Dane Evans. Gave Jeremiah Masoli a chance, but in this game, with all the marbles on the line, he pulled the trigger in the right time.
Ticats with a possible date at home in the Grey Cup next week. Lead by 11 with less than 3 to play.
Zach Collaros and the Blue Bombers getting set for the West Final from IG Field, where Winnipeg was a perfect 7-0 this season. Riders, Bombers coming up after the Tiger Cats and the Argos.
Great shot of BMO here in Toronto. Excellent atmosphere here today. Lots of fans on both sides of this battle. It's great rivalry. And Toronto will need to strike quickly as this ball will be taken on the return. Let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti on the sidelines.
Well, Dustin, McLeod-Bethel-Thompson started this half up 12. Now he's down 11 with 2:45 left. He was standing by himself. Fullback Patrick Lavoie tried to go and talk to him. He wasn't having any of it. He was cutting a very lonely, contemplative character. On the other side, the Ticats, well, ever since that Poppy White return, they've been full of energy. The message, we've been about it all season. We've been talking about it. Now let's be about it and do it and bring it home, guys.
And if you're looking for TSN turning points, that Poppy White return is certainly one that stands out in this game. Bethel Thompson, down 11, has a completion on the far side of the field to Brescison, but nowhere to go. Wrapped up immediately there by Ciante Evans, and that'll bring up second and about 7.
Once again, Evans playing out of position, moving from halfback to corner.
Bethel Thompson in trouble, steps up in the pocket, staying on his feet. Will they get to him from behind? No, he's got a completion of Breskison, and Breskison's going to take it outside the Toronto 45. Huge play by Bethel Thompson to keep the Argos alive.
Yeah, fantastic effort by McLeod Bethel Thompson, a guy who's not necessarily known as a scrambler, but does a great job here to extend the play when he's pressured. Dylan Wynn was breathing down his neck as he bought time moving to his right, finding Breskison to move the sticks in a critical moment.
Breskison down in pain on the field as they tend to his right ankle. Targeted 7 times today, team leading 7 times, 4 catches for 47 yards, and has really been a guy that they've looked to multiple times down the field in this game, and now he sits on the field getting tended to with just over 2 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, they've looked to Breskison over the top multiple times, and you know, Dustin, one of the themes of that final regular season meeting between these two teams was the what if. You know, it wasn't something Hamilton talked about, but for me in watching that game, Hamilton took a number of deep shots in the first quarter of that game where they had open receivers they were unable to connect. They end up losing that game, weren't able to get momentum going. Probably would have been a different game if they had been able to connect on any of those early. You look at some of the deep shots that the Argos have taken in this game to Breskison, and you just think if they had been able to connect on just one of those, we might be looking at a different ball game right now.
1st and 10 for Toronto, the ball at their own 45. They trail 27-16. West Final still to come here on TSN today. Thank you for joining us for all the fun in the East that we've had. Bethel Thompson, 3 receivers to his left. Dumps it off to Foster. Foster's going to work it up the field, and that'll be close to a first down for Toronto. Huge first half for DJ Foster. A little bit quiet here in the second half. Haven't mentioned him much at all.
Yeah, and quite frankly, not as much time spent on the field for the Toronto offense in the second half of this football game.
Another fresh set of downs. That one incomplete. Gittins got his hands on it. Looked as he was going down, he couldn't control it. To Moni Lawrence, who haven't mentioned really today, in his face on that one.
Lawrence.
4 tackles today.
The Tiger Cats all-time leading tackler.
2nd and 10 at midfield for Bethel Thompson. Completion to Rogers. Rogers lunging ahead. He's got a first down. And the sticks will move again.
This is a great play by Eric Rogers after the catch to sort of get off the spot as Javon Santos Knox is coming to the target. Just that one lateral step is the difference between getting the first down and not.
20 completions on the day for Bethel Thompson. He'll need another one here. Pressure coming, gets it away, far side of the field, and that one will fall incomplete. He had to get rid of that. Hauser right in his face.
Julian Hauser, who had the big fumble recovery last week that sparked the Tiger Cats, forces Bethel Thompson to try and throw this ball while moving backwards. And he's just not able to get enough on it to get it to the receiver.
Another 2nd and 10 for the Argos. 3 receivers wide side left of Bethel Thompson. That's where he's going to look first. That's where he's going to go. He's got a completion on the far side for a first down. And Gittins Jr. popped as he headed out of bounds, but he takes it inside the 30.
A big catch there for the 2nd-year receiver. Good protection against the 4-man rush. It's it out of bounds, and Tiger Cats lucky not to get flagged for a late hit there by Evans along the sideline.
Minute and 44 seconds on the clock for Bethel Thompson. 3 receivers to his right. Pressure coming, dumps it off over the middle, underneath, and that'll be complete as he goes to Devaris Daniels, and it'll be a couple yards short of a first down with 1:39 on the clock. They've moved the ball well on this drive, though, Dwayne.
Well, They sure have, and obviously you get in these situations where the defense doesn't want to give up that big play, that over-the-top play, and you're able to nickel and dime it in front of them.
2nd and 2. Another completion. Good job by Rogers to go down and get it. Gets the ball and a first down just outside the Hamilton 10.
But a pretty effective job, not just in moving the football. As you see Eric Rogers get those fingertips underneath the ball. Pick it up before it hits the turf, but
less than 90 seconds. To the end zone, a delicate, and he hauled that one in. He does. Intercepted, and that should do it. A delicate slides underneath it. What a finish. An excellent drive ends in the arms of a defender.
The previous play is under review by the command center.
yeah, we'll see if he stepped on that.
He step on the line?
If he stepped on the end line before he secured it. We'll have a look here.
Oh, here's a great look.
This would be a fantastic look. Got it.
Oh, was the ball juggled?
Was there a juggle there? It looks like an all-Canadian wide receiver as he hauls that in. But yeah, just wow.
This will be a good look on the juggle, if in fact there is one. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, to me,
he didn't secure it till that second
the
step.
ball was kind of in flight, basically, right? You see it first touches the hands there, but it was out of his hands for a split second there, and this is going to be an interesting ruling.
Looks like that ball might have been moving just for a split second as he brought it down in to secure it. We'll have to get the call. Huge moment in the East Final right here.
After review, we have an incomplete pass. It'll be 2nd down from the 11-yard line.
The Argos stay alive for now. Still a heck of a play by a delicate.
Well, it was a fantastic effort to get over there, and kept the feet in bounds, but just unable to catch it cleanly.
2nd and 10 on the Hamilton 11. Down 11 is Bethel Thompson. Pressure coming right up the middle. He's going to look to the corner. That ball's incomplete. Tavares Daniels never really had a sniff. And that will bring up 3rd down. And Boris Beatty onto the field to make it a one-possession game.
Yeah, so needing 11, it becomes 3 and 8.
You like this?
Yeah,
maybe not
take the points. Yeah, exactly. Take the points, right? They can't afford with 1:13 to go. They can't afford to come up with nothing.
5 of 6 on the day. He's had a couple of short ones just like this. A couple from the 10, this one from 18 to make it an 8-point game. Beatty, the kick is up, and it is good. The Argos stay alive with 70 seconds on the clock. Have to do what you have to do to give your team another crack.
Yeah, and I mean, it obviously puts pressure on in so many ways. I mean, first of all, getting the short kick. Secondly, obviously now it becomes the offense that hasn't been able to find the end zone all day needs to find the end zone and then find the end zone again on a 2-point conversion.
The Argos have had to settle for field goal after field goal after field goal all day, including a couple of times when they were inside the Hamilton 5 early in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, and you know, I mean, hindsight is 20/20, but I know we kind of talked about it off air up here at the time that I would have taken chances. Might have taken a chance early. Gone for the touchdown, given the field position that it leaves your opponent in, even if you don't score.
Boris Beatty's been good today. Needs to be perfect right here.
This might need to be his best kick of the day.
Drops it in there. Ackland goes over and gets it. And he'll take it cleanly. A huge day for Ackland continues. He's got 112 yards. Caught all 8 targets his way. He's got a touchdown. And now he hauls in that one.
Yeah, Jalen Ackland cleanly makes the catch. The credit goes to the guys in front of him, blocking to keep him clean. You've always got 1 or 2 guys who are sort of designated, usually a taller receivers, kind of the primary guy you want to protect to be able to catch the ball. Jalen Ackland is that guy for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. The guys up front keep him clean like he's their quarterback.
Evans with 4 receivers to his left. Takes this ball cleanly. Gives it to Jackson, and Jackson a great push ahead. Take him over 90 yards, and here's a look at some of the most recent Ticats work in the Grey Cup. A loss back in 2013 to the Riders. Could possibly face them next week, or a rematch of what we saw in 2019 against the Bombers. Either way, it should be good.
Yeah, the Hamilton Tiger Cats at this point don't care who they face. They just care about taking care of business for the last 63 seconds here in Toronto to make sure they have a chance to play for the Grey Cup at home.
Evans with an 8-point cushion. Gives it to Jackson. Jackson diving ahead, and he'll be very close to a first down. Might be just shy of it. Whistles like crazy as they bring everybody back to their feet.
Yeah, apparently the blowing of the whistle wasn't really getting them to stop.
Yeah, it works. Jackson over 90 yards.
Yeah, he's been a great story today, Don Jackson. Jeremiah Masoli comes on now in short yardage.
Jeremiah Mazzoli in for the short yardage play. Chris Jones seeing if his Argos can come up with a massive, massive stop here. Mazzoli started this game, has watched Evans get the job done here. Mazzoli will push ahead. He's got the first down for the Ticats. As Jeremiah Mazzoli comes out here to help Hamilton seal this thing away. Riders, Bombers still to come.
You gotta love this from Jeremiah Masoli, who instead of sitting over there sulking on the sidelines when he came out of this game, make sure that when his team needs him in the last minute of the ball game, he was ready.
Ticats fans at BMO Field to their feet. Was not a great start to the season for Hamilton. High expectations coming in. And they managed to put it together in the second half, especially down the stretch, and especially in the second half of the game today. Shutout
too many players, Toronto, that penalty be declined.
Shutout in the first half today. All 27 points coming here in the third and fourth quarters. And Dinwiddie looks on and wonders if maybe they put some points on the board earlier in this game. It might be a different end result as Evans takes a knee, and the Hamilton Tiger Cats are going home to host the Grey Cup in 2021. A victory against their rivals in double blue here today at BMO Field.
We talked about it early for the Toronto Argonauts as they were moving the football, they were controlling the clock. Would the field goals instead of touchdowns come back to haunt them? And ultimately they did.
You talked about it a little bit earlier, the ability to have success in those short yardage situations with Pipkin, and decided not to do it so early in a game where, you know, the first time you get down there, okay, you get the 3 points. Then you're there again on your very next possession, and you settle for 3 a second time. Worst case scenario, you're giving the Ticats the ball on their own 2. And they decided not to go for it, and in the end, it came back to sting them.
And of course, the other huge story in this ball game, you know, people talk about quarterback controversy. And when you're the coach, the general manager, the players on the team, you say, it's a good problem to have. We got 2 guys who can play. For the Hamilton Tiger Cats, hell of a good problem to have. Dane Evans as the guy that you can pull off the sideline when Jeremiah Masoli's having a tough day, and he goes out and is nothing short of perfect.
16 of 16, completed every pass that he threw for 249 yards and a touchdown. And then, of course, in those short yardage situations, so good all season. Punches in 2 touchdowns of his own, and that is the difference in this ball game. Tough time for McLeod Bethel Thompson, 283 yards, 24 of 38, no touchdowns, no picks. In quarantine for the last couple of days, obviously not an ideal situation leading in to his first playoff start in the CFL. And in the end, just couldn't find that end zone when they needed it, either at the beginning of the game or here at the end.
Yeah, and it's, as you said, I mean, a tough ending to a tough week for Bethel Thompson, but credit goes to him for the class with which he handled that whole situation. You know, didn't complain, didn't make it an issue, didn't make it a problem. He adjusted his preparations. He was clearly ready to play.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he was on today. They just couldn't find that end zone.
All right, let's send it down to Matthew Shinetti, who has Dane Evans, the winning quarterback.
Well, Dane, it's been 2 years, and here we are back again after you've won an East Final. But first, what was the messaging in the locker room when you were down 12?
That it didn't matter. I mean, we knew we didn't play our best ball. We knew that pretty much everything that could go wrong did in that first half, and we knew it wasn't going to happen again. We've said all season that adversity is guaranteed, and it's all about how you respond from it. And I'm so proud of the guys, because I'm not even lying to you when I say we all went in there and nobody was even thinking about the flight home. Like, I'm going home next week, none of that stuff. Everyone, we knew we were going to win this game. It was all just about how. And I'm so proud of the guys right now. I'm so proud of them.
You went 16 for 16. You were perfect. But I know this. You, Jeremiah, and David Watford, you've all said to me, it's going to take all of us. How did they help you in that second half?
I mean, I cannot thank those guys enough. I know Dave didn't dress tonight or whatever, but I cannot thank those guys enough. We literally said in the first meeting of training camp, it is going to take all of us. And it wasn't just like, oh, it's going to take. We knew it was going to take all of us. We all 3 played. We've all 3 won. And really, I don't know who's playing in the next game, none of that stuff, but it doesn't matter, because if we're out there as a team, we got a chance to win every game we're in.
We talked about this at Labor Day, how people are coming to you on Ottawa Street, in Barton Street, in the East End, in Stifley, about getting to the Grey Cup in Hamilton this year.
That matters.
What is your message to Ticat fans for next week?
We're there. Show up. I know you will. I know the tickets are a little expensive, but show up, because I promise you we're going to put on a show. And that's what we worked for, man. It's been 2 years. is everyone lost the season in 2020, all the adversity in 2020, and now this year, condensed season. This is what you work for, and we're finally here, and we got to right some wrongs, so we're excited about it.
Go celebrate with your team.
Thank
We'll see you in a week.
Right some wrongs is a nice way to say it, as the Ticats will have a chance for redemption, and this time they'll have an opportunity to do it at home, just down the highway in Hamilton. It's quite the storyline developing here, isn't it, Dwayne?
Well, it really is, and you know, you hear Dane Evans talk about adversity is guaranteed, right? There's no point in complaining about it, no point worrying about things that you can't control, and I thought the Hamilton Tiger Cats did a great job of keeping things on an even keel when they were down in this ball game, when they faced adversity, getting things turned around, because it would have been real easy. I mean, they struggled offensively in the first half of this football game, and they didn't let themselves get buried by it. Dug their way back out and got on a great roll in the second half.
Let's send it back down to the field for the trophy presentation with Matthew Shinetti.
I'm alongside Orlando Steinauer. Coach O, Hamilton showed out today in BMO Field and was there for you in the first half. Your team came out in the second half. What was the messaging in the locker room when you were down 12?
We weren't ourselves. The message was simply just to be us. That's really what it was, Matt. We didn't feel like we gave ourselves the best opportunity in the first half. Couldn't be more proud of a group of men. They decided that they wanted to put their best foot forward, and we came out with a win.
Adversity is guaranteed. That's what you said is the only thing that's guaranteed in 2021. What are you working on today is your messaging. How proud are you of your players after that performance in the second half?
I really can't put into words, to be honest with you. They work so hard. They believe in each other. It's something that started in training camp. And again, they deserve this.
I know that's not the trophy you want. There's one more win left, but what is your message to your team and the city of Hamilton, knowing that you're hosting the Grey Cup next week?
We're coming home. We're coming home.
Thank you, Will.
I appreciate all the fans. All the fans. Acknowledge the fans.
A great moment there for Orlando Steinauer. Not the ultimate moment. That could come a week from today, but for the Ticats fans and the organization have an opportunity to possibly win a Grey Cup at home for an organization that hasn't won one since 1999. Tonight, it's a perfect opportunity for this Ticats team.
Yeah, I mean, they got there in 2019 in what was a fantastic regular season for them. But they couldn't quite take that last step. Maybe they weren't quite ready to take that last step. And maybe it's meant to be for them to break that long drought at home.
They will have a chance to do that next week, courtesy a phenomenal second half here today in Toronto. 27 points. A memorable performance from Dane Evans. Perfect. 16 for 16. Ticats heading home to host the Grey Cup. Let's send it back to the studio.